Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the Old Time Cave. It's Sunday evening, and I thought I'd make a little content. I spent the majority of the day working on some projects and some chores and stuff like that, making the best of my time while the wife is away. She comes back tomorrow, so I have to hot-foot it down to LAX to pick her up. So with that being said, I'm going to be just taking it easy. I've had a nice weekend, saw some good friends, and had some good food, and made the best of my my solitude, right? Anyway, there we go. That's fun. Anyways, we have some updates. Now, I haven't done anything to the side lift. I haven't got the part yet. But just for fun, what do you guys think about this? As a banquet Coors bottle cap. And I'm going to just put it on top. Yeah, well, I don't think it's good. It's not a... No. Yeah. Anyways, I think I'll wait till the right part comes. Yeah, it's one of those deals. It's okay. I'm not in a rush. I have my Victor that I burn all the time, so that's fine. Yeah, not a big rush. And that, you see, I was puffing on that earlier today when I was out here working on stuff, and well, I think I smoked the best of it. Now it's just dottle that doesn't want to burn. And that's just as well because it tastes like crap. Dottle, for those who are not aware or very up on pipe smoking, is pretty much what you don't want to smoke. Well, besides, I mean, yeah, well, we're talking about a bad habit anyways, but dottle is what forms in the bottom of the pipe underneath what you pack. So as you're drawing and enjoying the content, if you will, moisture seems to be drawn down to the bottom of the bowl, and then it collects. So that makes it really hard to combust and burn, and then it gets, you know, kind of gooey and weird. So that's why I usually dry out my tobacco before I burn it, and you have less dottle, and you actually burn all the way down in most cases, and you get the best of everything in that pipe full. So if you leave your tobacco out, like any helping that you want to enjoy, let it dry out, and then you pack it, and then you pretty much have good chances of burning it all the way down and just getting nothing but ash. But if you pack something that's a little moist, if you will, sorry for those who hate that word, I don't understand, but I get it. Some people have words that they just can't stand, but it's a perfect word to describe what we're talking about. So that's why a good reason to leave tobacco out for about maybe 15 to 20 minutes, depending on the atmosphere, to dry it out and let it breathe a little bit, and then you can get it all the way down. But anyhow, enough about that. So you remember the Embry, or maybe it's even a Defiance. I think it might be a Defiance. For the Richards Conover hardware store lantern. So remember that one that was black and had the light bulb in it? Well, I have something to share. That is it, my friends. Quite the contrast, wouldn't you say? Yeah, so here it is, a little close-up for you folks at home, so I know you all want to see. It's a beautiful thing. It came out really nice. Yeah. Now, I'm yet to polish the bottom. See, I haven't done the bottom yet, but I'm going to do that. So she's not quite done. But, yeah, so that big old D-Lite that, let me adjust this camera a little bit. No, that's too low. Hold on, friends. There we go. So now you can see a little bit more of it. So those who remember that this lantern came with a D-Lite globe, that's what it came with originally. Well, when I bought it anyways, not originally, but it had a D-Lite globe, a Dietz, squat globe. Anyhow, so excuse me, my friend Eddie, that I fixed his Streamline D-Lite, he showed me that it had a letter E globe. So it's an Embry Whisker E number 30 globe, as you can see here. That's in this lantern. That's a Whisker E globe. Now I call it the Whisker E because it has the little light beams or little Art Deco things coming from the letter E, which is a really cool design. I call it whiskers because it looks like little whiskers, a little bow tie or something like that. Anyway, so I says, hey, I got a globe for your lantern if you want to trade. So he's like, yeah, sure, we can trade. That's fine. So this might be the correct globe for this lantern. I'm thinking this is actually a Defiance manufactured piece and not an Embry. So because of the style of fount, and these wicket styled globe guards, and also the pie crust radial wave globe plate definitely are details of the Defiance Lantern and Stamping Company. And this would be in their twilight years before they were consumed by Embry. So, yeah, it came out really nice. It is a beautiful piece. I am really impressed how this thing cleaned up. And, well, you're going to hear it. I don't want to say it, but I have a feeling the paint was original. The black paint must have been at least applied very early on, because this tin is in really good shape. And typically when people paint lanterns, it's later on, and just to keep it from rusting. Well, I would wager, I'm not very familiar with the Richard and Conover hardware chain and how they presented their branding lanterns. So I would say there's a good chance that it was bright tin, and then whoever bought it painted it. So yeah, for the simple fact that tin reflects light a lot more than black paint does. Because if you want to see at night, what are you going to do? You want reflective surfaces, right? That will, especially with a cold blast, that will make a lot of light. Brighter light, absolutely. So that would make sense that this would come as tin plate, bare metal, and then somebody wanted to preserve it and they painted it early on, probably in the 30s. But anyways, it's in really beautiful shape. It came out, it's just a solid lantern. Friends, let me tell you, Embry and Defiance lanterns are like battle tanks. They're really solid stuff. You hear that? You see how solid that is? That is a solid lantern, and it's heavy. I don't have fuel in it. I have some acetone because, well, I used Evaporust in the fount to clean whatever surface resin was inside. I dumped it out, and then now there's a green-yellow tint to the inside of the fount, which is weird because I've never experienced that. Now, Evaporust does have a tint to it. However, it seems to have stained the inside of the fount, which is weird. So I ran water in there, rinsed it all out and everything, and it seemed to get out. But water's coming out clear, but it's still yellow inside. It's like chartreuse. And so I'm like, well, I'm going to put some acetone in there and just let it, do its thing. I might try another chemical tomorrow. We shall see. But anyway, this thing is just killer. It's killer. So, okay, now we have another lantern to share. I didn't have it ready, so excuse me, and I will grab it while we're out here. Juggle some things here. All right. Now we might burn this just for fun. Okay. Now, remember we were talking about D-Lites middle of the week. Now this is a 1920s era Dietz D-Lite, and it has this beautiful amber globe. Check that out. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh man, I like the amber globes. I'm not going to lie. Colored glass is amazing. It's beautiful stuff. However, there's a drawback. That's right. The antique colored glass, as beautiful as it is, it's best not to use it with fire. So the sad thing is that as beautiful as it is, especially when it's lit, it's really best not to do it, because what happens with the older glass is, well, it's aged, okay? And then since it's aged, and the ingredients and the chemicals and stuff in the recipes for these colored globes, they tend to react over time to heat, and then you get that little crizzle or grizzle, little crackling. It turns into kind of like flaky scaling thing, and we call it glass cancer or sick glass, and that's what happens with heat, and then that's a reaction with what's inside the globe in the glass. So it's ideal. It's suggested not to burn these things, because you face about a 50-50 chance of that happening or not happening. Now, with all that scary talk, I did actually burn this last night, and I had no problems. So let's, just for fun, let's light this for a little bit and enjoy an amber globe. All right, here we go. Oh, that's nice, huh? Beautiful, beautiful. Look at that. Man, that is gorgeous. So this D-Lite, let me turn around this way so the air tube doesn't block me. And that's what's happening. Anyways, so this era D-Lite is from the 20s, give or take, and it was pretty much, this is the number 2 large fount D-Lite, so it has a larger capacity, that of, say, a Little Giant. Anyway, this is a really cool piece. It has, I got it from a Tubular Lantern Group member, Mark Stowers, and it's just an amazing lantern. He offered it to me in a private message, and I was like, oh, okay, with that globe, I can't say no. So yeah, I said yes, naturally. Yeah, it's funny because like squat globes aren't really my favorite. They're not really my bag, but this thing just has a real tough look about it, and I'm going to enjoy it for a while. And if anything, I will keep the globe for my top lift D-Lite, which I have. But we'll see what happens. But anyways, this is what predated the Streamline lantern. So since I did a video with the Streamline D-Lite, figured I'd show off a non-Streamline one, so you can see the differences in construction and how this is a little more rigid and a little less stylistically designed, not as flowing in lines, not as simplistic in design. This is a little more utilitarian in its appearance. And this is kind of more what you'd think as an Old West or barn or whatever, rural type of lantern from the Depression era. So there you go. Or even prior to the Prohibition era. There you go. But yeah, it's a great piece, and I like it, and I'm happy with this thing. It's really cool. So, all right, everybody. We'll have more updates when, well, the other lantern comes. The one that I don't want to tell you too much about because it's a surprise, and I think you'll really enjoy the lesson that I will be telling about this lantern when it comes. So stay tuned. Have a great week, everybody. Have a great night. Bye-bye.